Well, our second live show has come and gone. Thank you to everyone who has attended our second live show, which was on August 15th. Last week. Is that last week? I'm losing track. Last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. There's three parts to it. It's 3 hours. So I hope you guys had a great time. The entire thing, you could ask any question, Q&A. You could ask any question. You guys are shady MFs. You brought it. The questions were so much more shady this time, I think, because we just ended RHONJ. You guys had a lot of questions about the future of RHONJ. You all wanted to know about my breakup with Margaret, Jen, Aydin. List goes on and on. Everyone always gets mad at me. Why do people get mad at me just for doing my job, man? But anyway, I digress. We cover everything. We're putting the whole thing on. Look, for everyone who attended, you could ask a question. You heard the answers. But for everyone on Patreon, we are going to put the whole three-part series there. So at least you could hear people's questions and at least you could hear the answers. So we're not sharing that on YouTube or anywhere else, but we did have a mini little chat at the beginning before we got into the Q&A, and we are going to share that here with you. Now, maybe we'll share the first question we were asked. I don't even know what it is. I have to go through this and see what the first question was. I don't even think we started out shady, but the whole thing we're putting over on Patreon. So anyone that wants to listen to that, click on the Patreon link below, leave a comment if you can't find it, and you could hear the whole 3-hour chat in its entirety on Patreon. Every single question. We could not plead the fifth. So if you want to go there and listen, but we're sharing this little intro clip here on YouTube because we love all our YouTube people too. We are going to have a third one. The last one sold out, which is, as I lose my voice here, the last one sold out, which is why we probably spent 3 hours. So love you all. Got a lot of things planned here for September as well. And hopefully you guys are having a good day. Go over to Patreon and listen. And here are some samples of that evening. Have fun. Bye.
Rogue Wave. We love them.
We love them and we thank them. And the toys really are cool. I will agree with that. And they're doing good. And yes, I mean, now that I spend part of my time in LA, I know all about compost. Anyway, moving along, where do you want to start, Sarah, with all these lovely people here? I just want to start with the obvious. And I mean, maybe this isn't the obvious, but is anyone else, you don't have to unmute yourselves at this point, but is anyone else just so excited that this season of RHONJ is over? I am so thrilled. So thrilled. You thrilled, Sarah?
Everyone's clapping. Everyone's happy. Really?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't really mind this season, did you? I mean, I kind of minded a lot of things about it.
Well, Jersey's always been your, I would say, like your marquee thing. And it really, I would say more, I love RHOBH and Potomac. So I've never been as invested as you have. So I don't know. I guess I didn't mind the toxicity as much. I don't know, but I know everyone's kind of, clearly all of our fans are over it.
It's just somehow, I don't even know if it's like my thing, but it is my thing. I don't know how that happened, but it is. People have very visceral reactions. I just think that's so, but I'm very happy that it's over. We're still going to be talking about it a little bit on Behind the Velvet Rope. You know, they're still in the news cycle, these RHONJ. They're not letting us, but so we are. And I am going to be doing a full show about, I need to step away from it for a minute, but I do really have thoughts. I'm going to do a whole show on what is truly going to happen. What do I know? But I just want to lay out my thoughts.
You have to give us, we're here for this show. You have to tell us at least an inkling. Obviously, there's so many layers and no one really knows what's going to happen. But I mean,
no. And they really haven't decided. Like I saw stuff today online, like Jennifer Aydin's been fired. And I'm like, where did we get
this?
That color on you. Did we get this because I said Jennifer's not coming back? Because I mean, I will stand by that. She's not coming back. But do I know that for sure? Not really. But she's not coming back. Look, I just think that there's really so many ways I could see this going, but I don't think the show itself is not going to come back. I mean, I have said this before. I'm still not convinced Miami's going to start filming in September, like they keep saying, but it seems like everyone else seems to think that. So every time I say something isn't coming back, it does. So I just think in some form it will be back. And I think Vanderpump Rules is coming back. I think they're coming back. Um,
Okay, but
bef-
wait,
yes.
are you, see, I don't even mind Louis and Teresa, but I mean, do you think they could really not be coming back?
I think there is a world in which they cannot be coming back, but you know, I think if anyone could survive this, it is Teresa, which will shock everyone. Everyone thinks I'm so anti-Teresa because I've had Melissa Zolnose on so much, but I just think I want to step away from it for a minute and reflect and the longer something is off the air, you do forget the bad parts about it. And I don't know. This one's a tough one. It's almost as tough as trying to figure out what's going to happen with Vanderpump Rules, but I think it's more difficult with New Jersey. But I really think, regardless, I think this show is just gone for a long, long time. And I'm okay with that.
Well, I mean, even this second season of RHONJ, right? I mean, how long? It's been so long. What, over a year?
It's been so long. I'm going to try to get excited. I know you're excited. I think the trailer looked better than all of last season. So I'm going to try to get excited about Roni, but I'm not convinced that this season of Roni is, I'm so sick of these trailers. Like even OC, I think it's like a great season of OC. It's one of the best seasons it's been in a long time, but it's not really living up to the hype of the trailer. I don't know. I mean, how much more could we? I think Shannon's having a great season, right? Don't you? I saw an interview with Shannon that was, I think, on Entertainment Tonight, and they're asking her about Tamra, and Tamra saying all these things about, like, you're not a good friend, and you lied about this, and you lied about that. And Shannon is just, I really feel, I mean, the edit's one thing, but in her interview, Shannon is just keeping it calm. And she's like, well, I have four friends. I don't know if anyone's seen this. I think it happened today. I have four friends from college. They're the core four. Tamara knows this. And I don't really have to justify anything about my life to Tamara. Like, I just think Shannon is really calm and she's handling herself well. So I don't know. The most exciting thing about me for the OC this season is, like, I feel Shannon has emerged as, maybe I've been too hard on Shannon. Maybe I have to issue an apology to Shannon.
Look, I've said it. I'm Team Shannon this season too. Like Shannon totally wowed me in a way I did not expect. And I truly, I don't know. I kind of went into this season thinking, well, yeah, of course John Jansen would dump her. Like she's a mess. This is like crazy the way she's acting at this age, and a mom and all these things. And then now John and Alexis look so foolish. It's like Shannon is winning me. I'm Team Shannon, and I was so critical of her going into this.
Yeah, and like I'm even okay the way she's like calm and she gets up and she's like, I'm gonna excuse myself. I'm leaving the room now. I'm not gonna engage in this. Like, I'm kind of okay with it
Yeah.
because it's just, could you imagine if like Teresa got up and said, I'm going to leave the room now. I'm not going to engage in this. Thank you very much. So I am all for Shannon this season. We can talk a little more Jersey, but first, before we get there, what is this about? You just did this interview with Peter Madrigal and it went viral. And he said that Lisa is rebranding Tom Tom as Pump, which I was like, does Lisa know that he's saying this? And apparently Lisa's responded and said, not so fast, but thank you for the idea. You also have some other tea about Vanderpump Rules you keep
Well, I do. Now,
saying.
Lisa very quickly responded to that interview with Peter that aired on Monday. She says Tom Tom is not being rebranded as Pump. However, I will say this. She did not fully shut that down. She said she is focused on her restaurants in Las Vegas. And thank you for the idea, Peter, LOL. Look, that is not a Peter Madrigal has no clue what he's saying. I would never buy them out. We would never rebrand. To me, that was a brilliant Lisa Vanderpump response. I think there's a chance they are rebranding to Pump. And I don't even remember in that article if she addressed if she bought out Tom and Tom or not, or if she just skipped that part. I
Interesting.
Look, to your point, because you had said this to me after the interview, you were like, there's no way Lisa is going to let Peter make this announcement. I think that that was a denial that was not really a denial. And I think this could be happening. I say in 6 months, you will see a full rebrand, but she's going to want to control it.
I
Now,
mean, yeah.
okay. Well, no, that was that. And then I
Sorry.
was going to tell you the other. I mean, look, David and I obviously speak to a lot of producers, a lot of these talent on air, off air. A source of mine very close to Vanderpump Rules says the entire cast is not coming back, that you are going to see some of the cast members that you have known. We've already seen the leaks. Sheena, Lala are filming with the Valley, and they are completely going to recast Vanderpump Rules to a new, younger group that actually work at SUR. That's what I've heard. I've heard that they sat down with Billy Lee, with Joe. They had thought about bringing them back, bringing them on as some cast members. They weren't wild about the chemistry, and now they're looking at a recast. Do we think that could even be possibly fully true? And what happens to Schwartz, Sandoval? I think at this point, everyone kind of knows Ariana. I don't think Ariana is coming back.
I mean, you look at Ariana now and it's like, you forget she's